call the meeting to order, please. We're going to do a pledge and then a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll do the roll call. Bob? Here. Louis here. Douglas is here. We'll start off with public comments, please. Anybody have anything they want to say? I guess not. Do you see anybody? Oh, Mr. Herring. Yes, sir. Yep. Oh, it's hard to see him.
Joe Herring, Herring Surveying. Good evening, Commissioners. Just following up on comments I made last week. I did see that the BOCC Farm plat is on regular agenda. I didn't know if you guys got a chance to watch the Planning Commission video and have considered moving that to consent since the Planning Commission did approve it. Just want to get that thought back in your head. And then I still need to get a follow-up with Mark. I know he probably hasn't had time on proper protocol for when we have a issue that we disagree in the interpretation with offices within the county on how to present that up here in the proper way to do so. That's it.
Thank you very much, Joe. Appreciate that. But when you mentioned something, did you get in touch with the county administrator?
No, I thought he would have gotten back with me when you asked him to follow up with me.
Because usually it's very responsive. We're not city government, we're county government. We don't take a year and 6 months or something.
There you go. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that, Joe.
So I'll follow up with him tomorrow.
Very good.
All right.
I like you being involved. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Anybody else? Sounds like a moment of silence. Administrative business.
I don't think I have anything this evening, and I'm not aware of anything from the county counselor.
Were we going to converse on the situation this morning? Anything?
I think that the county counselor provided you with an update via email.
Say again?
I think the county counselor had provided you an update on that via email.
Okay.
So.
Very good. We'll go on with the consent agenda. Approval of the minutes. Anybody got anything to say about the minutes?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Bob.
When we approved in fact, I made the motion and approved the purchase of district court for $73,945. That was for workstations.
Yes.
Was that the computer at too? Because I noticed that in our Mark meeting today that someone else had also, I meant to have that available, but I brought it with me, that they had gone to Mark and was approved for some of those same type of workstations. Evidently not as many, because the figure that they had was not nearly what this was.
What county was it, Bob?
It's for the Head Start program, I believe.
I think you got a difference of workstation. The workstations that Mr. Marlborough was referring to were computers.
Were the computers?
Just the
That's why I asked.
The workstation that the Mid-America Regional Council is more of the ergonomic workstations. That's
so they're calling them both workstations, but it's 2 different workstations.
Yes.
You and I would call them computers.
That's right.
Workstation, okay.
I just wanted to clarify that.
What do they call a fax machine? And a
Obsolete. Yeah, I think
You're
somebody
going
said
way back,
obsolete.
you're going way back now.
but they don't have a special name? How about a copier? What do they call a copier?
Printer.
A printer, okay. I think we may have this down, workstation.
You've probably known them as the old ditto machines.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Anything else, Bob?
No.
Yeah, I had down Mr. Herring. I guess that's it for that. Next would be the Leavenworth County Commissioners meeting schedule for next month, or next week, really.
I'll make the Port Authority.
Okay.
No conflicts with me.
And then we have a LCPA meeting.
That's the Port Authority.
You going to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Other than that, I'll stand for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Okay?
Second.
Okay, I guess we were supposed to do that all when we get together with the consent agenda. And I liked your hesitation, because that proved that I was doing something wrong.
Right.
See, I can catch that. Workstation,
Well, I
That's good.
wanting to say you did something wrong.
oh, you can do that. I got thick skin.
You do.
Okay, how about the check register?
We caught up this month, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, spending that money.
We really spent the
Got to
money,
spend it
didn't
before the city gets to get it.
Notice there's local dealerships.
Yes,
Like to see that.
okay,
A couple 2018 Fords.
for the sheriff or for whom?
Transfer station.
Oh, transfer, that's right, transfer.
Transfer station.
Yeah. Were they four-wheel drive? or-
No, getting rid of some F-250s.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't mention the total, because that's Bob's job, okay? Don't mention that. You want to talk about the total?
Yeah, the total was quite excessive,
Yeah.
over $1 million.
Yeah, but that's good. If we look back through there, page 1, $134,000 for 182nd Street. People on 182nd Street, I hope you appreciate that, because the money's going to go fast to the cities once we change, okay? It will go to the cities, because cities don't believe this is county money. This is county money. I don't know how many times I can say that, but you need to apprehend and comprehend, rather, what I'm saying. Anybody out in TV land? Rock, we spent let's call it 23,000 for the benefits of and this is one reason it's up that $500,000, $485,000 for employees, for Blue Cross Blue Shield, something very important in their lives. So really, we're about $1 million if it wasn't for that aspect. Some more rock, 6,600. This was created a thought process. KDOC, it's on page 6, and it says $16,331.89 for unspent SFY 18 reinvestment, something warrant total. Can somebody help me with that?
The Kansas Department of Corrections is the KDOC, that's the KDOC. It's the grant funds, I think that
We approved last week, week before last week.
Okay.
Megan brought that forward.
Okay, sounds good.
Could you go back to page 4, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
Douglas County, do we house inmates in Douglas County? Is that what that
Yes.
bill's for?
Yeah.
So we're full?
I don't know if we're full, they're full.
Well, but
We're housing them,
Yeah, we're housing them, so they ought to be paying us.
Well, it says we're paying them.
Anybody got an answer on that one?
Not off the top of my head. It could be that we had somebody who they couldn't house locally. We took them out.
That very well could be.
I don't never seen that before.
It's unusual. We do usually house
We
inmates for
house
them,
a
so
lot of people,
it's
prisoners, inmates.
potentially somebody who we couldn't house locally.
Okay.
I can find that out for you.
Page 7. Oh, I love it. Local vendors, $143,000 to Leavenworth Asphalt.
Then drop down to Leavenworth County Co-op.
Yeah, that's
Local
right.
business.
$56,000. Local businesses should appreciate how the county spends their money throughout the county. On page 8, $211,000. Lina Weaver, 179th, 182nd, and another 182nd. And the big one is 154 for 182nd Street. Lina Weaver's been getting a lot of business. That's good. And page 10, Vance Brothers, $142,000 for road seal. So there's a lot of reasons we were up to $1,485,000. Very good. Approve the, and approve and sign the OCBs. I'll take a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion to have the chairman sign and date the OCBs as stated.
Okay.
You'd like
I think we've already approved that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
We'd already approved it, and you just went over the bills.
No, I did the one thing, and I said,
Okay.
oh, that was all
Yeah.
supposed to be under.
Okay.
Bob,
So I'll second your motion.
Bob, I really appreciate the way you handle that. You don't go right for the gut and correct. That's very good,
So
Bob.
is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We had already done the one item, and I
Waiting for it.
confessed to my sin.
Okay.
There will be a motion to approve the consent agenda then?
And I'll second that.
There you go. How do you vote, Bob?
Aye.
Appreciate your respect. Aye.
Aye.
Youth today just doesn't have much respect.
Oh, give me a break.
Okay, a formal board action. Consider a motion to approve a change order for 150th Street project for additional asphalt required to stabilize subgrade with an estimate of $10,000. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm well.
Everything going good?
Yes.
Good.
So Board of County Commissioners, Public Works is here requesting the approval of a change order on 150th Street PRP asphalt paving project due to unstabilized subgrade that was encountered by the contractor while paving. This cost estimate at this time has been updated as a not to exceed $10,000 for the entire project, as opposed to estimated $10,000 with an unknown total at this time. So approximately, probably closer to 50 to 75% of the base is now down, and we believe that we've identified the soft spots.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
No.
Did you get us on the clock when you...
Yeah, this actually came out the end of last week, and the contractor was out there on site, and I contacted the board to let them know that this was coming because we didn't want the contractor to pull off the site and or have to stop the process. So, yes, I did contact you last week on this.
Yeah,
to
but
let you know.
you kept us on the clock.
Yeah,
So
you asked me to make sure that I tracked your
People would know that
time.
we were getting paid for doing our job.
Yeah.
I actually went down and looked at it after the Basehor City Council meeting.
So you get extra for going down. That's good.
It was dark, but
I like
I
that.
could see what they're talking about.
And it was nice of you to give us a call to see if we would probably approve that.
Well, I think what I called was just to inform you that I was going to approve it unless there was a problem. Says I
You
can't.
did that before. You approved it before?
No, I would talk to each of you first to let you know
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to approve it.
It was going to cost more for the contractor to leave and come back than it was
Yes,
for
it
the
was.
change order.
Any question, Bob?
Nope.
Anybody want to do a motion?
I'll move that we approve the change order of not to exceed $10,000 on the 150th Street project.
Second.
How do you vote, Bob?
Aye.
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 A little bit thick.
We like to keep you informed.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay, next item. Consider a motion to approve Resolution 20-18-22, to consider the findings to be true regarding the City of Baser's request for annexation of parcel 186140000114000. Yes, Jeffrey.
Good evening, Commissioners. The City of Basehor is requesting annexation of a piece of property that's located just east of Glenwood Ridge Elementary School. This piece of property is located within the county, and it's almost 4.2 acres. Just to give you a little history, the property owner came to the county requesting a building permit, and currently the property is landlocked, so we weren't able to issue any permits. There is no road frontage at this point. So they went to the City of Basehor, and then they are asking them to annex it to Basehor, and Basehor is favorable to that. So that's why they are requesting it. Staff is not objectionable to the annexation, but we have some concerns. I would like to state the concerns for the record. This parcel has no road frontage at this point. Leavenworth County will not be able to issue any entrance permits off of 157th Street, which is within Glenwood Ridge Estates subdivision, just to the north. The adjacent properties would have to be platted with adequate rights of way in order for them to access the property and to meet all the regulations. So with that, we are in support of the annexation, and there's a resolution.
Is that the little piece in orange just to the east of the school?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there's no real access to the property?
No.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of Jeff?
Yes, so if the City of Basehor annexes this, how will they access the properties? By the adjacent property owners replatting and providing a right-of-way?
Correct.
And then that right-of-way would come out to the county street?
No, it's actually, they can actually get the access from the city portion of the street.
Okay, so could they put a street in and build more than one house there?
Yes, sir. If they
Okay.
plat it in the right manner, then they could do
They
that.
could, and lot sizes in the city could be half
Smaller.
acre? Okay.
Quarter acre.
Now, would these people help pay on the sewer debt? On the,
Yeah, they have sewer.
I know, but would they be required, if they build a house, to start paying toward the debt?
I would think they would.
I don't,
They're gonna be hooked up to the sewer, aren't they?
Well, but
Let's hear an answer here, please. I can tell it's beaming.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, that would be dependent upon whether the tract has been formally placed into the boundaries of sewer district number 3. At this time, I cannot tell you that. If you'd like to, I'm sure we can find out rather quickly and let you know.
I think it's a very good point.
I think it's very important because that's where
Yeah.
the sewer lagoons were, and it'd be unfair to the residents to allow them to just pay a sewer tap fee and not pay on the debt.
Would that be of concern to us, though? If
Yes, it's county residents that are paying for that sewer line.
Well, I understand that, but Basehor's annexing them. All those houses to the north and west, are they in the city of Basehor or are they in the
They're
county?
in the county.
They're in the
They're
county.
in the
And
county.
they're paying for that oversized
Okay.
sewer line for
Mhm.
future development.
How about the school? Is it in the county?
That's in the city. They
They
annex.
annexed that into the city afterwards. So it's an island annexation.
An island annexation. Oh,
And this is a continuation of that.
yeah, okay, thank you for bringing that question up.
But I think it's very important that
Yeah.
anybody builds a house over there, they need to start
I
help
didn't
paying on
realize
that
it was in
debt.
sewer district 3.
Well, I'm assuming where the lagoon set would have been in sewer District 3 if the lagoons
Yep.
were on it. I mean, it's only fair to the people that are paying
Well, I
on it.
agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That'd be about the only fair thing that ever happened to them.
We can get that answer for you, but that would not be part of the consideration whether
Right.
to allow Baser to annex. The reasoning for annexation,
To me.
the finding
Yeah,
is
I would say-
does it impede future growth? That's what we have, that's the decision that the resolution contemplates.
But if we go ahead and allow them to annex, then we have no
We have no
later.
say.
I've been watching that lady arm wrestle those big guys and flipping that basketball in, you know. I like to have a little leverage. I'm going to ask Joe if this gentleman can talk here pretty soon.
Any annexation doesn't require a public hearing?
It's a voluntary annexation on their part.
Okay.
It is an island annexation, therefore it requires the board to find by 2/3 vote that it does not impede future growth in the area. That's the question for the board to consider this evening.
So would you like to hear this gentleman talk?
Absolutely.
How about you, Bob? Joe, is that all right?
If it pertains to this case.
Yes, you're an involvee in this?
Good evening. My name is Nick Carmichael. I'm the one seeking the annexation.
Okay.
It is part of the sewer system from the research I found within the Leavenworth County Courthouse here. I have been working on this since May, trying to figure out which hoops to jump through to make this happen. The last meeting I had with the planning and zoning told me that if I was able to voluntarily annex into Baser, to go ahead and do it, because by the time I have built the property and done everything I needed to, as soon as I hooked into the Baser sewer, I was automatically annexed into Baser anyways. So just go ahead and get that out in front and do it ahead of time. There is a easement already in place to the property. I don't know if it's on the map that you're looking at or not.
That on the north end?
Yeah, we
Yes,
have a
sir.
line.
Looks like there would be a possibility for a street to be in there. Okay.
And there already are two other driveways obviously coming off of the cul-de-sac there. I'm just here hoping to get a ruling in my favor so I can go ahead and proceed to.
I think just to reiterate what Mr. Joseph previously said, until the land, not only this lot, but the right-of-way for any future road is platted, that would not be allowed access to the county street that's in that area that goes into Glenwood Ridge. It could access the city's street at their discretion, but it cannot access the county street until it's platted and their proper right-of-way is allocated in that plat. We wanted to make sure that's on the record. We don't believe that the annexation will impede the growth in that area as long as the guidelines are followed that are within that.
So are you suggesting we delay this or go ahead and do it and see where it falls?
I'm just wanting to make sure that the property owner is aware of the fact that he will not be able to access that street via his property unless that is platted with a right-of-way.
Well, it goes through the school district, doesn't it?
Goes through school district property, yes.
Well, schools are usually pretty congenial, aren't they?
It would still have to be platted with the
Oh, yeah.
right-of-way.
Yeah.
I think they've allowed him to have an easement, an access easement, but that does not
Yeah.
meet the guidelines of the county, which would then mean he could not connect to that the county street that's in that area.
But would that be through Baser's planning?
The platting process,
Yeah,
yes, they would
that'd
have to
be
go
Baser,
through.
that wouldn't be through the county,
That's correct.
but
Do you understand where the administrator's coming from?
No, sir.
You don't?
I'm trying to follow it, but
Well,
I'm
we
not.
ought to go out and have something to eat tonight because I didn't really understand him either. What he's saying is you're going to have a problem.
Okay.
And I don't think it's that massive because surely the school district wouldn't take it to not allow you to, you might have to buy that land. Are you prepared to do that?
I've already spoken to the school district and they've given me a verbal agreement that if I needed to get an easement, they would grant it.
Very good.
There is a difference between an easement and a right-of-way, and that's what you need to make sure that you understand, that there's a dedicated right-of-way for a road to go through that property to get to your property in order that you have enough frontage for access. It's a process. It doesn't impact the city's annexing of this ground necessarily, but it will impact your ability to connect to that county road that's right there that I'm assuming is where you want to go for access because it's close. If you intend to run across the school's property all the way over to Conley Road, then the county would not be involved in that. However they choose to allow you to connect would be up to them. But to connect to a county road, you have to meet county guidelines whether you are annexed into the city or not.
Okay.
Where did you, do you mind me asking who you bought this land from?
It's, right now, everything is pending the agreement before I purchase it.
Oh, you haven't bought it yet?
Correct.
Would you like us to hold for your benefit, not for our benefit? I just don't want to put you in the slurry pit down below a dairy milking station.
You're saying hold your ruling is what you're asking?
Yeah, hold it, us, your choice. We're only doing it for your benefit, not ours.
No, sir. If you go ahead and rule on it, then I'll deal with it after that.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, I'd just like to note something procedurally. If you make the findings that the proposed annexation would not adversely impact the development of the area, there are still steps that the city of Basehor would need to take before the annexation takes place. In other words, your decision to make the findings do not automatically lead to the annexation of this property.
Okay. So you're recommending just go ahead and prove it?
So in other words, he would have time if something come up.
He could always withdraw the petition for annexation.
Now, would Basehor have to hold a public hearing if they go through with the annexation?
Basehor will have to go through the statutory procedure for them, and they would need to adopt the annexation ordinance in a public meeting.
Okay. And then are you aware of what I'm talking about the paying down on the sewer line?
Yes, I live within Glenwood Estates now.
Okay. Is that you that's just north of there?
The property I'm looking at now?
Yeah.
That's my cousin.
Okay. Is it Alan?
That's his son.
Okay.
Matt.
All right. I know where you're at. But, okay. So you're aware of the huge debt
Yes.
payment on sewer? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody else have any more questions? And if somebody want to do a motion to approve the DEV-18-93 Basehor annexation parcel, blah, 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 blah.
You just approve resolution 2018-22 and it will.
Okay?
So moved.
I'll second it with discussion.
No, we just discussed it, but
Go
go
ahead and
ahead.
discuss it some more, if you
Some
don't
more,
mind,
okay,
Mr. Chairman.
we're gonna
Like
do
I
the-
said, my only concern is that it's not in the sewer district, and it wouldn't have to build a house or build several houses and would not have to help pay on the debt. I'm gonna go on record for that.
I
Okay?
mean, I understand what you're saying, but if that happens, I think if Basehor takes it over, I don't think we have anything to say about it then.
That's why I wanna bring it up now.
You think Basehor would not,
I don't know.
well, they couldn't put more than one house.
Well,
All
Well,
our
yeah, he
concern
could.
is that
Oh,
If he
it's not
puts
going
a,
to
if he puts a street in, he could. If he gets the right of way.
we should be concerned about, it's not going to impede growth in that area for the county.
Okay,
That's end of story.
very good.
Well, that would be if there wasn't this big old sewer district bill, a loan that's being paid on by 90-some residents.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know.
Did we create that problem?
No, sir. I had nothing to do with it.
I didn't either. I don't think I did. Could have, couldn't I?
Could have.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we didn't create it don't mean we can't come up with a solution.
Yeah, but is that a solution that we want to work on?
I just want to go on record as saying that if you build within that sewer district, they should have to pay on that debt to help soften the blow to them people.
Okay.
Whether it's annexed in the city or
I
not.
would, I'll just repeat it, I think that would be up to the city of Basehor. I don't think we can tell them, yes, he's going to do this.
Well, it's not just this person, it's any growth
It's
out
any
there
growth out
would-
there. But it's not the
Being-
growth for the county.
Being it was the county's decision to upsize the line for future growth, you would hope that just not the original homeowners would have to pay for it.
Right.
I mean, it's just the right thing to do.
Okay,
But I don't see any way that we can do it.
That we could enforce it,
Right.
other than voice our opinion about it.
Right.
huh?
But there's no way we can do it, actually.
Okay.
any more discussion?
No, sir. Thank you for allowing me that.
You're entirely welcome. How do you vote?
Aye.
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 We don't really have a choice in it because it's not going to impede growth.
Okay, next. Did I make you happy? I like happy people. Happy is good. Next will be case 7 parallel R-cut discussion. You know, this is the most exciting thing. Now, all these people out here in Leavenworth County that are our city that aren't capable of handling a roundabout.
Oh,
Oh,
that come up in my Mark meeting today again.
a roundabout or
Not our roundabout.
somebody put in a roundabout?
Somebody's putting in a roundabout.
Oh,
but they
man.
were,
Let me tell you about an R-cut. Ooh, that's exciting. But that's not in Leavenworth County, is it?
No, sir.
Yeah, that's in
So-
Wyandotte.
Makes it better, huh?
If it
So
takes
this-
place.
Yeah, this intersection is south of Leavenworth County, and it's within the jurisdiction of KDOT and the UG within Wyandotte County at K7 and Parallel Parkway. It's currently a signalized intersection.
So what is it, anything you want to tell us about it, or?
I can give a brief update of what I know from the meetings that I've attended with the UG present. So UG has been, I guess, offered some funding opportunities with KDOT to improve that intersection. It has been a high incident rate with death fatality, pretty noticeable on that particular corridor, bringing about a demand of some change. The R-cut, which is a restricted through, so Parallel Parkway would not go through that intersection. It would be a restricted to a right turn. Then there would be a merge movement into the left lane, which would then have a U-turn opportunity. You would U-turn in order to go in, merge again onto the roadway into turning into a right lane, or right turn again. So you're restricting the movements to right turn onlys with a U-turn in between. So KDOT has offered some funding. The UG staff took this to their board. The board did not award funding, local funding for the match. KDOT has offered to extend the funding opportunity through the end of the year for them to do education and investigation in order to bring back any ideas to KDOT or to come to an agreement that it would be a good implementation of that particular unique intersection option. So they are having a staff level only, commission only meeting. I believe it's next week. In the afternoon in order to discuss and kind of go through the educational components of what this may look like. KDOT has been working on developing a simulation of that intersection, what it would look like coming from all angles of it in order to provide a visual for folks who struggle with understanding kind of what that would look and feel like. I did provide you with a couple of good links for some of these simulations that have been developed through a variety of different grant funding over the last decade of what this particular intersection would look like. Some folks also call it a super street. So they have a variety of names, but the R-cut is what, in this particular instance, with its speed and its distance, is being named. So those are available to you to kind of see. They're generic in nature. One was developed by VDOT with Federal Highway Administration, and the other was developed by the Federal Highway Administration. One developed by VDOT is very short in nature. The other is longer and more informative with Dr. Hummer, who is one of the lead research investigators on this particular unique intersection type, as well as the very lengthy informational guide by the Federal Highway Administration that's updated approximately every 2 to 4 years. So I believe the most recent update provided was maybe 2012, 2014, I can't really remember. But I did provide that to you as well. No printouts, as it was very lengthy, but that's basically where the UG commission is that I am aware of, that the UG staff has made announcements of, as they're in the understanding and education and communication process with their staff and with KDOT.
I think that the board had asked Ms. Schaefer to come up to kind of give an update because that we had heard one of the cities had provided a letter of support, and just wondered if we needed to do the same, if it's something that the board supported. Obviously, the elimination of a stoplight on K7 north and southbound increases the flow of traffic and decreases the delay. So that's probably why Lance, I think it was Lansing gave the letter. Was it Lansing that gave the letter?
discussed this.
Leavenworth. So,
And we were going to send a letter of support.
so that was the, I think that's why we asked.
Information.
Yeah.
That's why we asked it to be on the agenda this evening to see if the board.
The letter of support is what you are driven to do. I
Well,
would support that.
Mr. Lujan said he supported it.
Mhm.
Anything to do with stoplight. You say
So not only to do away with the stoplight, but to really mitigate
improve the safety.
those safety components that are really the detriment of many lives, especially in the last probably year and a half, of the types of incidences that occur at that intersection.
Are there any of these intersections in the state of Kansas?
I am not sure.
I'm not aware of any.
I'm not either. I was gonna recommend that whenever they're gonna put one in,
They
or
should
like
do
a
it. They should
roundabout
fund
in
it
Lebanon
all.
County, everybody ought to be able to sign up to go to that destination, go through an R-cut so they know what they're gonna be doing.
I could probably look it up really quick. If you give
Well,
me a
I-
minute.
and
And
that's
if not,
fine.
if
And
I
then,
can't find it readily, I'll get
And
back to
the
you.
K7 Corridor Committee supports this?
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that what we were gonna do out here on 4th Street, an R-cut?
No, that was more like McIntyre. It was discussed earlier, but KDOT did not have any funding, I don't believe.
Yeah, but that's what we were,
Funding.
that was an
The
R-cut.
funding was the issue.
The
Yeah, but
funding
it was
the
an
issue.
R-cut.
It was an R-cut. Yeah,
well,
you are
funding's an
correct.
issue here
Yeah,
too.
it was an
Well,
R-cut.
no, KDOT has some funding.
It's the local match that's
The local.
at issue.
But is it an 80-20 match?
It was a 90-10 match.
90-10, so you're only talking 10%. That's-
Right.
Did they have an idea what that might be,
But it was,
what the UG would
To
be
us, it was
responsible
still
for
the funding.
dollar-wise yet?
That was not made an
But
announcement.
they weren't, I don't believe KDOT was offering that type of funding at the
Right.
time.
Don't know, but I know that's what everybody was upset over.
10%
R-cut.
wouldn't,
Yeah.
or if we had a speedway and the legends in our area, 10% wouldn't be that big a deal for us.
no,
Huh. Okay. Maybe we can get a letter from Wyandotte County for doing McIntyre through Mark, and we get a 90-10.
Let's-
Yeah, but see,
let's
Wyandotte
just
is not
start
in a
with
good
this one.
condition. They're WY, we're LV. Clay, Jackson, and Johnson are all before us on the alphabet, and that's how it's served, see?
I wasn't
So-
aware of that, but
Yeah, that's a flip of the coin.
that's one way of looking at it.
Well, I had written down here roundabout, and then in parentheses, difficult with a question. Doesn't even compare to an R-cut, so,
So our cuts are sometimes called J-turns.
J-turns, yeah.
Michigan,
Oh, now we're gonna get
lefts,
into slang terms
those
of
types
it.
of things. But really, they are reviewed and implemented at specific intersections that have high incidence of specific natures. So, luckily, we don't see these types of fatalities at K7 and McIntyre Road. Where Wyandotte County is really starting to try to mitigate these for the folks that commute through and who live in and around that intersection.
when you
Well-
get, go ahead.
Actually, maybe the city of Baser should also send a letter of support because there's a lot of traffic that comes down parallel of all them homes at base. Or
When you get back to your workstation,
Yes, sir.
could you pull up the nearest, find the nearest R-cut? I'd like to go down and just, flip the coin, see if I can make it through an R-cut. I bet I can do it, but sort of like parallel holding.
I do know there are a few in Missouri. They're called J-cuts, J-turns there. But I will come back with appropriate intersections that are within a travel distance.
So are they asking for a letter? Is that what they want? Or they just want us to know that they're looking into it and sometime in the future we would?
I do not remember a specific formal request of a letter, but I believe it's something
City of Leavenworth
that,
sent one.
right, and I believe that it is up to each jurisdiction whether or not they would like to send a letter of support.
How long have we known about this?
A week.
And City of Leavenworth already sent one?
Well, I found out about the LCDC meeting last week.
Oh, okay. That's fast. They've known about Port Authority since January, and we haven't even gotten a response on that.
Okay. Two different deals.
That is okay. That's not two different deals.
But like I said, I think we need to do whatever we can to, one thing is, make this intersection safer and get rid of
Traffic
stoplight.
And this
Well,
does have a lot of
I'd be for
economy
that.
with drive time. So there's twofold to this intersection. It's really, they primarily designed it and they realized that it assisted with traffic flow and minimizing drive time, minimizing emissions. And the secondary, they realized by minimizing conflict zones, they were able to really adjust the safety factors for it.
Well, I noticed that Nancy Bowder had also said, let's get rid of stoplights on 773. A long time ago, I heard they weren't going to have any. The KDOT wasn't going to give any more accesses. And yet, here goes one, here goes one. Freddy's gets one. They're all over, And it takes, we got to put a camper on the back to get down to the Legends. We got so many stoplights to go through. So,
Most spend your money here, not go to Legends.
I don't go to Legends.
Well, luckily, we'll have 147th Street corridor, so you can just cruise at 35 miles an hour along that.
Until you get to parallel, then you
Until you
got to
get
go
to
up and use the
I love
R-cut.
it. I love it, 35 miles an hour, 40, just look what's going on in the world.
Try that on 7 Highway and see where it gets you.
So, what's your thought? You want to send a letter, Robert?
I think we need
I
to
think-
support this.
Yes, I think we need to support it.
Can we backdate the letter, and make it one of the first letters to get to?
Put it in front of Leavenworth.
We'll have a letter drafted, just a generic letter of support, basically.
I don't want a letter from Leavenworth or Leavenworth County to do, but maybe they can get one from Johnson County and Jackson County too.
Could we
I think
also
any
notif-
type of support coming from a board to a board is going to be something of received well. I think they're in a position where they're learning, and if they have support from their counterparts, that's always a plus.
We'll turn that over to our
County
administrator, and he can find our professional letter writer saying, we back this, so.
And could we also notify the mayor of Baser? See if they would support.
Yeah. Very good. You got that, Mark?
Yes.
Got all that down? Okay. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Welcome.
You come back.
And I'll get back to you on travelable areas to look at what an R-cut.
And where the closest R-cut is, so I can go out and take a trip. Next is anything that you have to say about life, Bob?
I've said all I need to say probably.
How about you?
I've got quite a bit, if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind, because I got quite a bit.
Okay. I guess first, just want to remind everybody about the health assessment. Both departments all got signed up, everybody signed up? Are we full yet?
I don't believe it's full yet.
Okay. We need to encourage your employees to sign up for that.
Okay, you just tell the administrator, if we disagree with you, we'll tell you we don't agree with you.
Oh, okay. All right, well, got the health assessments. I went to Bayshore City Council meeting the other night, went to Linwood's also, and then I was at the KAC conference. And I spent 2 half days with commissioners, well, it was commissioners all over the state, and then one day was with commissioners of counties our size. And it was all on mental health. It's everybody's problem. It's all over the state. It's bigger than we thought.
Why is it on the county level, did they say?
Because the counties are taking their mental health places are taking care of it. I mean, they're looking for funding, but they recommended appointing a mental health task force to get the numbers, to get all the data, to lobby for money from the state instead of giving $20 million to 2 school districts. But it needs to be ran through, like ours, the guidance center. Johnson County, they have one mental health officer with the resource officer. Riley County, I think, does something similar, but they have mental health task force, and it's basically, we're going to have to eventually do regional mental health stuff. It's coming. We got to get out in front of it.
Well, didn't I mention that your president gave how many billion? I don't remember what it is. Somebody do the research on it. Why aren't the states going after that? And
that's where your mental health task force will be able to get some good numbers and get some accurate data and something we can present or they can present to our legislatures, which goes on up. But I'd rather do this and look for funding instead of asking for 2 mills.
well, we can cut out.
No,
Well, we can cut out just doing roads.
well, there's no reason if we can get out in front of this thing to have to do this.
Well, it has to come from somewhere, and the thing that bothers me is that everybody in every situation always says there's not enough funding. Go through what is involved in county government, city governments, and there's not enough funding. Is there anything there's ever enough funding for? No.
No, but this here, I mean, you got to look at the big picture. If it keeps some of these people out of the system, out of the jail, and out of the court system, you're actually saving money.
I'd like to see those statistics.
Well, that's what I said. You need some statistics, and we need to cross the street. It's everything.
I keep this handy now. What did Mark say, Mark Twain? First get your facts right, then distort them.
Well,
And I find that true with every system because there
We're
will
gonna have
never
to
be
get out in
enough
front of
money for
this.
anything. Never be enough money. And what is important? Child care, you know. Parents, some of them are having kids they probably don't want. And who's taking care of the kids? Education for the kids, you know. I heard a guy the other day saying, well, there's plenty of school money. It's all going to the executives. Now, there was a big change when the school board changed a few years ago. We got rid of some of those high-paying people. You want some mental health money? Let's get rid of 5 superintendents of schools here in Leavenworth County. You know? No, we don't want to do that. I'll lose my power. You know, it is a shame that we can't consolidate police, sheriff, fire, school districts. You know, we basically have our own league right here in Leavenworth County now for playing sports. It's amazing what can happen when we downsize. I just don't see that there's ever going to be enough money to solve all the problems in the world. Not going to be enough money. Am I concerned to the degree? How do you handle mental health? Well, you have to get the expert. What does the expert say? We need more money. We need more people. We need more people to sit and help us with how to solve this problem. One guy said, well, there's not enough spankings going on. Ooh, spanking kids. You can't spank kids today. You do that in a shopping store and you're going to be going to jail. So I don't know how to solve the system. Now, if you want to be in charge, there you go. You be in charge of coming up with a committee, coming up with the people. Don't get them all mental health people, though. I want some Al Stevens on there, I guess, that has a disagreement with schools somewhere at some time. You come up with a committee and fine, I'll go along with your motion to put these people on a committee to study mental health.
Okay.
When they're all done, they'll all be looking for mental health help. So, but
Okay.
if that's what you want to do on mental health,
Well, that's pretty much what most counties
I don't want to leave it up to Northeast. Yeah, but I don't want to leave it up to Northeast Mental Health. Every board that I see has a conflict. I don't care what you say. I see the Leavenworth City, the people stay on those boards for years and years and years. So I want to see the boards change. I don't want to see only school teachers on the school board. So you come up with the board and I'll go along with it.
Okay.
Is that fine with you?
Yes, I think it's something that
Okay.
it's coming whether we like it or not.
Whether we like it or not, so
Well-
we need to get out in front of it.
I
Yeah.
mean, we just need to get out in front of it, like Doug says.
Okay.
I think we're too late for that, but our jobs.
I think we've been proactive
I
on
Yeah.
giving money to
the guidance.
Guidance center.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't give the 2 mills the other day, but we couldn't give 2 mills.
Well, we're under tax
Well-
lid anyways.
We could have come
it on
up
the
with the
ballot.
$800,000 by knocking off some roads or something.
Well, the whole idea is to find other funding.
Yeah.
But anyways. What else? Oh, since we passed the deal about the jobs being unfilled for 6 months, are we doing better about getting our jobs out there and advertised?
I mean, like
So we don't-
sheriff's jobs or,
Any department. I mean,
Well,
are they getting like?
how is the jobs that are being filled out the county shop? I noticed that, talking to some of the men out there, that we're short of help out there at the county shop.
Well, we had a couple retirements, I
Right.
believe.
And somebody that can run a road grader or an
Well, that's-
oil machine or,
Probably ought to get them filled for winter.
well, the road grader anyway.
Well,
I don't know about the oil machine.
Well, but that back into a backup, either a dump truck or another piece of equipment that's going to be doing snow removal. We always like to have that department full in the winter.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how, like I said, how this is working. When somebody gives a 2 weeks notice, do we try to get them posted?
Well, a lot of that, first of all, not every opening is an opening through choice. I mean, sometimes we just can't find qualified candidates.
Right.
But it is at the discretion of the director of that department how long they leave the position open before they advertise, when they decide to advertise. If we have a need for the position, obviously they should be advertising as soon as possible to get it refilled. But again, it's at their discretion. So HR doesn't automatically put an ad in the paper when they get paperwork for somebody leaving. They wait for the director of that department to notify them that they'd like to advertise for a position.
Well, that money, go ahead, Bob.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
I'd like to ask Mark a question. I noticed this because I know the gentleman that used to maintain my road. That's not my road, but the road that I live on.
You own
And-
that chunk out front.
Huh?
You own that chunk out front where you keep.
Yeah, I put it there though. I paid for it.
Thank you.
What I was curious about, if that, the gentleman that had that run that maintainer on that road, is trying to retire with disability. He's got some problems. I don't know what they are. I didn't ask. It's none of my business. How long does it take to get somebody to replace him, or
Well, unless the position is open, there's no way to advertise it to fill it. So if the gentleman is still an employee and working, we can't fill his position, obviously. If there's a personnel matter that he is trying to, because of a disability or whatever, until we're notified that he's no longer going to be able to perform his duties, we can't go out and try to fill the position.
Well,
if the position becomes open,
I think he very well knows that he can't perform the job anymore.
Right.
And I was just wondering
position,
if we can go ahead and fill his job, or does he have to use up his vacation days or sick days or whatever it is? I don't know how that works.
Because of American with Disabilities Act and FMLA and other guidelines, we cannot fill that position until it's actually open.
It's until he actually is not coming back, even though he is not coming back.
Well, you may get something that excites his life, Bob. You may be back, but the money that supposedly comes back because it hadn't been a filled position.
Is that what you're talking about?
Well, that's what
Isn't that happening on June and the end of the year? Where's that happening?
Again, we have a policy in place. This board approved a policy that how we will address that, and we will follow through with that. At the request of the board, we will reduce, because the board has to approve a budget amendment, obviously. We will reduce the amount of funds available in those departments if they have positions that have been open for 6 months or longer.
It's not coming back semi-annual then? Bless you. That's two.
That's just two.
You don't get three.
I'm saving the third one.
Yeah.
It will, again, because the board has to approve any budget amendments, it's at the discretion of the board. So it's not automatic that we'll just do it.
But I didn't think our thoughts were to leave it in there for eternity, somewhere semi-annual or something. It should come back because it hadn't been filled.
Yeah. It allows for...
You can always put it back in there when they fill it, but I just don't like it sitting there.
Yeah. It allows for a semi-annual review, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just don't like positions empty. I mean, we collected the tax dollars to fund these positions, and I don't like to see them vacant for a week or two. I think that if somebody gives you 2 weeks, that's when you should post the job.
Yeah, but you got to find the person qualified.
Well, but you got to start.
I was going to say,
You know, you don't wait till they're gone and then say,
I agree.
hey, because like I said, it's not fair that we collect these tax dollars to pay these salaries and these positions stay vacant.
You want to pass that over to that man right there?
I believe
we don't want to micromanage.
No, I believe you heard me.
We've had that discussion, and we've.
Can we go out for some ads and see if we can get some people?
Yeah.
We have had that discussion, yes, sir.
So, anything else you
Yes,
have?
sir. You know, these last few projects we did, they seemed like they were getting kind of late in the year, and they had to slam these change orders through really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if it would be possible if the board would support hiring somebody. We got these PRP roads, I believe. We got 174th, we got Donahue, we got 187th up in your area, and we got 219. Would it be possible for us to hire someone to get these right-of-ways, or get these right-of-way donations, and get these things filed so we can get these projects on the list, so we don't wait till July to bid an asphalt project or something?
that's a good idea.
And get it done.
Get it
The
before.
time to plan all this and to get these jobs out there is in the winter.
Right.
And it seems like it takes,
How many employees do we have today?
Approximately 420.
So we want to add another employee.
we're not adding an employee. We're using someone to do this that we have done before on That way we're not paying, they're just paying by piecework. And these are simple, these have already been signed that said they would donate it. It's not like we're doing condemnation. All we need is somebody to get the documents signed and filed. Because you waste all the winter months doing this, and then by the time you go out to bid these projects, it's not going to hurt to have these things sitting there ready to go.
No, we do that on bridges.
Yeah, it's called,
Well, I'm just saying, look what we paid in change orders because we had to hurry up and slam these jobs in before the end of the year. They were bid late in the season.
I agree.
You get a better price early on, I believe. Or could it, or just get us, have a,
Get 'em
maybe the
shoveled.
county council give us a price, what it would cost. per
Shovel ready.
parcel. Would that be a,
Commissioner Smith, I believe you're referencing what I would term a right-of-way agent.
yes.
We have utilized that service in the past. Can only speak from my own personal experience. I find it to be highly effective.
Well, you're gonna be looking for a job. Don't laugh about that, Bob. Well, we could have David do that along with his fence viewings.
Just an idea, just, you know, if we
Well,
can get a price and it's not crazy price, because
Right.
like I said, it's not that difficult, because like I said, these folks have already said, we're gonna give it, we just gotta get it on the right form and get it ready and get it filed.
Thank you for coming, appreciate it. Well, why don't we have the administrator look and talk to Public Works to see if there's some way they can resolve it without us getting into, they have 3 engineers down there now,
No,
don't they?
sir, there's 2.
What happened to the other lady?
She left.
She left. What, none of them worked for her or what?
We have 3 positions.
She what?
We have 3 positions. We don't have 3 engineers currently on staff.
So we still have a position down there for,
There's an unfilled position.
okay, there
She
you go.
left.
But why don't we have staff look at it rather than microing here, which is not all bad, but I don't like being accused of micromanaging. That's what the administrator's for. Let him go talk to the Public Works and say, Mr. Smith brought up this situation and we think it needs to be looked into because everybody else was sort of in agreement. They just didn't want to go out and hire someone immediately. How can we resolve this situation?
And get all these done before the end of the year, so.
Oh, they're not going to be done before the end of this year anyway.
Why not?
They're not.
Why not?
Well, McIntyre, they closed down, of course.
I'm
they
not
said-
talking about having the
I-
projects done, I'm talking about just getting the
Get
easements.
the,
Oh,
get
yeah.
the easements, getting it ready.
Just getting it recorded so we can
We
say
got
this
up
job is
until
ready.
when, April? Why not check with staff, see what staff, that's what we pay them, either that or get rid of staff, and we'll hire somebody off the street to give us the public work.
Okay, April's kind of late by the time, but
No, but what I'm saying, it's gonna be bad weather, surely somebody's,
what if it's not bad weather? And they could,
Well, I don't
our
know.
crews could be working on maybe some of these
who's doing
roads.
McIntyre?
A contractor,
What contractor?
Line Weaver.
Lionel Weaver? He shut down for how many days?
Okay, but I'm not talking about that job, I'm talking about the PRPs, the ones that they're giving the right of way, but we are not rebuilding the road. If we, for some reason, have a mild winter, some of our crews could be out there
Yeah,
getting these
I
ditches
agree.
cleaned out, getting these culverts replaced, and they could do
I
like
just
they
don't,
did your roads in your area this winter, or this spring. The
Right.
5 miles they did in your district, you know, base chip and seal, done a fine job.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying. We just gotta have a
But we-
plan,
but they
plan our
didn't-
work and work our plan.
but they didn't have to have utilities moved.
And neither do
Not
these.
moved, sign over the utilities. This was a road done for Lansing to bypass the problems they're gonna have in the next 4 years with the lights, the street extension, and the street extension.
But these PRPs, they still required us to get right of way.
Yeah.
We're not gonna move utilities and we're not gonna design, we're not gonna rebuild it. But to do these roads, to follow the policy, we have to record the right of way donation.
But what they're doing is moving themselves up on the system, right?
But
because they're giving
until we get these right-of-way donations, they're not gonna turn a tap on these roads.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere with it.
Right.
Yeah, but they're moving themselves up because now we're giving land. They don't qualify. They got one car a day, and so we're going to get 4 people to give the right of way, and somewhere they've moved up in the system.
They're gonna be 100% give the right-of-way.
Well, there's only 4 people on this road. Now, that's where I was
What
going.
road are we talking about, 4 people?
Well, you know, we could pick a
All right,
specific
well, we don't.
road.
We've got 219th, 187, Donahue, and 174.
Any of
That's
those,
the roads
any of those in your area?
187th is my district.
Is it in your district? 197th I'm okay with. The rest of them I don't care about.
Well, I guess not. You got 5 miles this year.
Did I get 5? Where?
You got
There ain't hardly any
155th,
left
you got,
in his district.
Gilman, and you got 127th. And then you got 171st.
So what's wrong with that?
Nothing. I'm just saying we need to pave more roads. Not all yours.
Why don't we, are we not wanting to have staff? Let's get rid of staff. The statement was, let's have the county administrator contact them and bring it forward for next week
Okay.
and say, this is what we think needs to be done.
Okay. You can say think. I can say I know this is what needs to be done.
I'm wanting to hear what the professional is going to tell me.
Okay. And where did I spend the last 35 years?
Well, hell, I don't know. Where did I spend the last 80 years? Okay?
Not out of the road department. Well, you know, you did come out once in a while.
You god dang right I
You
came
did.
out.
I got to give you credit
And
for
I
that.
volunteered to take over my half a mile of road and
Right.
relieve it from the county, but I didn't have I wasn't covered, and I said I'd pay for the insurance policy.
Okay.
And we had 72 miles of road, we had $12,000 to do it with, so.
Okay. And
So-
I got another part to this question, then I'm done, and I'll let you take, if that's all right.
Oh, no, that's all right, go ahead.
And could we get an estimate on these, engineer's estimate on these projects, so we kind of know where we're at?
On the PRP
Yeah,
projects?
PRPs, yeah.
And also, what they think can be done to alleviate it. Yes, sir, what's your next one?
That was my other part.
Oh, okay.
I'm done, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. First thing I've got here is, we sent a letter of agreement to the city of Leavenworth on the 23rd for their consideration. On August the 20th, I followed up with the city manager, inquired when they plan to have this on their agenda, and what I'm referring to is the Port Authority. He informed me they would be discussing it on September the 18th work session. On August the 31st, Mr. Kramer informed me they were moving the discussion to October the 2nd because Mayor Preisinger is going to be out of town on September the 18th. My question is, how many city commissioners are there? Are there 5?
Yes.
The 4 can't go on without the mayor? I don't think so. I think they go on. They go on all the time. It really bothers me, and they had this notification on the 10th of January, 2018. That's when it was first discussed. I think just to keep holding off and holding off. Now, I want to tell you a little story, Bob. You're not privy to this. Wait till Lou leaves. That's the statement I'm hearing. Wait till Lou leaves, okay? Now, that used to be the statement. We're going to be honest and forward with this now. It says now wait till Bob and Lou leave and we'll get these things passed in our way, the way they want it. Now, I think that's very interesting that governmental entities and people want to be in their frame of mind totally right on everything they do and take a year to make a decision on the Port Authority. It took them a week or 2 weeks to send a letter of recommendation of our turn. Now, my God, that's more serious than the Port Authority. All the money we give the Port Authority, and they can't make a decision. We need to make the decision. We're going to stay with the Port Authority, or are we going to allow LCDC to do it, and then they have the money, and it goes from there? I don't know. You want to just keep it?
You wanting to put a deadline for the city?
Well, the deadline was there. Now we're up to, October the 2nd. And they're going to come back. They don't care about the $1 million that we have spent. We were dumb because we didn't catch it. They were dishonest because they caught it probably, and they said, well, hell, the county's paying it. Why should we pay it? Just think if half that money had come to us, we could have done 2 miles of road.
What year are we talking here?
You were talking what?
What year are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about since we brought it up in January about the funding?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It
All
had
right.
been
All
paid.
right.
Wait,
and we went through another
from
budget.
the 15,000 originally, or 10 they originally paid.
Right, you're talking about if they would have done 50-50.
Yes.
And we went through another budget year.
Well, if they'd done 50-50, when did this start? How many years ago? When did
Oh,
we start?
1969.
Yeah, 1969. They only paid one payment.
Okay, all right.
And we weren't smart enough to catch it, or for some reason we didn't catch it.
I was in the 2nd grade
Is that right?
in 1969, so
You-
I probably was not privy to that either, but
Is that right?
yeah.
2nd grade.
Well, just being honest with you.
So, that's the point I'm getting at. Not everybody, some people say, we're not getting along. Well, by God, you know it's a two-way street. We got along when we gave them the $5 million, didn't we? Wasn't everybody happy at the city?
Appeared to be. Appeared to be.
Yeah, they were happy. And Tonganoxie was happy.
Yes, they are.
When
They're
did we
very
get-
appreciative of it.
Yeah. But they still got money, and they're going to pay us their last payment with our money, which is all right, as long as we get our money. Are we going?
No, they can't until they come to us and ask us to do that.
To do what?
The park's not completed.
Right, the park's not completed.
Well, I know
They
that.
have to use that money
The
on
money
the park.
has to be spent on the park.
The only way they can get around that is they come up here and say, we don't have the money to pay you, but we have the park money. Can we use that money to pay
Oh,
you?
yes, I agree with that.
And then we either agree or don't agree.
Oh, no, or they move funds around.
Uh,
Well,
Oh, yes.
We-
Don't
we
tell me
won't-
that.
we won't
I saw the
worry
city of
about
Leavenworth move funds around on a fire station, and that was serious business. So, and they kept taking it back to court, and they finally won. Because the court said, well, yeah, you can move this money to do that, and now you got that money free to do this. So, so I think that we need to set a date,
Okay.
and let's see, they're having their meeting on the 2nd. And you know what we're going to hear back is, well, they're not going to tell us what to do. Hell, we'll make our own decision. What I'm saying is on the, let's see, 2nd of October, is that that'd be a Tuesday, wouldn't it?
November?
No, they said, Kramer informed me they would be moving the discussion to the October the 2nd. Oh, that's already
came
gone
and
by,
gone.
isn't
That's
it?
came and gone.
No kidding. My gosh, I didn't know that. It's come and gone, and we got November coming up. So what date do you want to give them to? What's today?
I don't attend their meetings, so I don't know what they discussed.
Well, some of them don't know what they discussed. Today is what,
23rd.
23rd. How about on the, we went on the 23rd, so you add a week to that. That's, and back it up one day. We want it
28th.
Monday before.
29th.
No, you got to give them a Tuesday. See, is that a study session for them next Tuesday? See, I don't know.
I don't
you
know their meetings.
Next thing you know, it's Christmas of 2025. I want to know by next Wednesday.
Okay.
That's a day after they have their meeting. You figure out what the date is. Is that all right with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Halloween.
And that'll go on for another 2 weeks, because they're going to be saying, we won't openly discuss this, and John isn't here, so he'd ask for a copy. This is the land use for County Road 1. Did you get that?
Yes, sir, and there's a special meeting tomorrow night here.
Yeah, did you read through both of them?
Most of it.
Okay, did you get the chance to read
I
them?
haven't got through all of it yet.
Okay.
I didn't read it all.
One of them is to do nothing,
Mhm.
and one is to divide the land up, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Mhm.
and I didn't like either one of them, and I especially didn't like the one that says do nothing. How many millions have we spent down there in Tonganoxie? 8?
Oh,
About 14 on the interchange and 5 on the industrial park.
About 20 million.
Yeah.
$20 million. How many years has that been going on?
Since the 06 sales tax.
Yeah, 06 sales tax. $20 million, and one wants to do nothing, leave our land alone. We have our road, we have our access to I-70, and we don't want to do anything. I think that is totally ridiculous and in poor taste, but it's the me world. I want mine. I want mine. I do appreciate Tonganoxie sending their notice of what's going on down there. I appreciate that. I had a good chance to read that. We don't care about this. This is legal. Are we getting all the counties and what the commissioners get paid?
I've asked the clerk to
Okay.
gather that information. I'm sure she's very busy with the election right now, but I'll remind her.
We need as many as we can get because there is going to be an adjustment. And I'll tell you one of the adjustments I'm thinking about is do nothing and you set your own pay salary. Let's see how you're built. You want to vote in $25,000 and by God you do it. But I'm thinking seriously, everybody's complaining. Everybody's saying, well, let's take the 3 salaries divided by 5 and pay them that. No, he didn't run for that. He didn't. I'm not going to say he ran for the money, but he didn't run from that. Neither are the other 4 that are now running. But I noticed in the paper, everybody agreed. The 4 that are running, everybody agreed. We need 5 county commissioners. That's what it said, unless a newspaper's lying today. Well, I think that's poor because we can leave it the same. We can give them a pay raise. And that's why I want all the counties, how many days they work. That's called, what's that called? Mark Twain, first get your facts right. And I don't believe in distorting them, but there are a lot of people who do believe in distorting them. I don't distort. Anybody says they do, I want them to show me. That was the newspaper of the commissioners meeting for the running for office. It was a good deal. As a, I had this written down there because there was some dissertation going on that we were spending a lot of money doing a lot of things, and I wanted to know how much money we had spent with Wilson and Company since, I guess that would be this year, since May of 2016. We have spent $1,207,966, and that has been for all the projects that they do for us, but there was questions that we were maybe not spending money the way we should spend money. I'm going to leave this here for, that's a new commissioner's orientation. You can pass that over to the executive secretary. What was this on? No, this is Leavenworth County. Lawsuit. People that are complaining about us spending, how we're spending our money on lawsuits need to really sit down and look and go to the school district, go to the city. I hear people say, oh my God, look at the money the county's spending. Well, and I don't think we have a copy for each commissioner, do we?
Of the
legal lawsuit with the ladies?
No, I just received that today.
Yeah. So it's really amazing. You take out the 2 we settled for, and so many of these entities, they settle. There's nothing punitive about settling. If you're right, why do you want to settle? Well, it's free money, comes from the taxpayer, let's just settle. So that person never learns anything. They leave and they get a letter of recommendation. I think that's in poor taste to give a letter of recommendation. That was on the city. We'll get by that hogwash. And it is hogwash. It's all on the city. I noticed on school district, and I know they didn't count it, but I'm going to talk on school district. We just got rid of a gentleman who resigned from the Leavenworth School District. He was Hispanic nationality. I talked to a young man, passed it on to the school board. He was interested in being on the school board. He was a father. I think he had 2 children, Leavenworth gentleman. Happened to be black, so therefore he's a minority, but school board decided they didn't want to choose him. I think that's very interesting how we do this. We want to be equally balanced. We want to have all this input from all, and yet on the Leavenworth School Board, there's not one black person. There's a lot of black people in that school. There ought to have been that one black gentleman. But was it in the paper today? I don't know. They met last night. It wasn't in the paper, so I don't know where it went.
Yes, it was.
Was it in the paper today?
Board minutes were.
Board minutes, good. I didn't get a chance to read it. I was over here all day. So,
Because what caught my eye, it said Clemp and Smith. But it was Nancy Clemp and somebody else.
my wife, you went to dinner with her the other night. What is this?
I thought, what do you mean Clemp and Smith? We haven't had our meeting yet.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
read the article when you get home.
I will. Thank you very much. Okay, any more questions?
No.
Just one more announcement.
Yes, sir.
The Leavenworth County Humane Society's having a costume party down at Crancer's, fundraiser, membership drive, whatever,
Okay.
on Saturday night, October 27th, 7 p.m. at 530 Delaware.
Since you mentioned that, I thought it was interesting.
I won't be able to make that, but I'll make contact with
You see the ads in the on the TV about the abuse of dogs and cats? I think it's interesting. And then they have the abuse of the Jewish people. You know, they're asking for money. It's really sad when you see, and I know you can make a dog look bad, but there's a lot of mistreatment of dogs, and they're very serious in their relationship to their masters. So, but I was told by the Humane Society, don't send them money to the overall program, send it to them, because they get more for your dollar. It's sort of like between the Red Cross and the Salvation Army. So, okay, appreciate everybody coming who's come. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
You want to second that?
Second that.
Been moved and seconded. How do you vote?
Aye.
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 Very good, thank you.